Morning, happy Tuesday, happy PPI day. Super exciting. We're going to get some movement going in the market. Bitcoin fell off a cliff when the PPI came out because it came out a little bit hotter than what everyone was expecting. We can go check directly to their website, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, to see what's going on there. You'll see that this was in fact a little bit hotter than what was expected. It came in at 2.2% increase in the PPI. Now, PPI stands for Producer Price Index. Everyone pays attention to the CPI, which is Consumer Price Index. That's like the headline inflation numbers. This is inflation for the producers. So it's taking it a step further, looking a little bit beyond just normal data. But this is what the market does. This is what the Fed is doing this week. This week is a monstrous week in the markets for a Fed decision on whether or not they're going to continue to hold at the current rate or continue to increase. If the data comes in hot, that means we have a strong economy. That means they're going to raise rates even more or keep it for longer, keep it at this 5.25% that they're at. So 2.2%, while is not a large number for inflation, it is in fact higher than the 1.6% that was expected, higher by a lot. I got a warning on my account. This live stream just got a warning on TikTok for hate speech. So that's kind of hysterical. Let me know if I said anything that was hateful on that. I'm literally talking about Producer Price Index, but all right, TikTok, go off. What's good, Dream? Truth Seek, Proper Chaos. Let's go, guys. Thank you all for being here. Good morning. Green background means you aren't you at your girlfriend's computer? This is my computer, just my girlfriend's desk. Green background because there's a bunch of boxes back there I don't want you guys to see, and it looks a little bit more professional like this. But I'm in her chair, but it's my computer. Her computer's out there. She's using it for work. We see a lot of stuff come in with this PPI release. So this is the year-over-year data charted out over the last decade. You'll see that we had that massive spike running up into 2022, just like normal inflation, only this went higher. This went well above 10%. We hit 11 or 12% for the R word. That was like 15 minutes ago, though. They gotta chill out. Like there's no word that's wrong for me to say. I don't care. There's no words that are wrong for me to say. It's my own vocab. I can use whatever I want. They can flag me all I want. That's why I'm going live on YouTube, because YouTube does not flag for that. Get my brain distracted here. You can see we came back down rapidly to that zero threshold, meaning no more inflation on the producer side of things. We're starting to spike back up a little bit, and that's causing a little bit of turmoil in the market. Nothing too dramatic, because this is not a dramatic spike, right? If this continues, this could turn into something that needs to be paid attention to, but nothing in the market moves up or down in straight lines. We always have that jagged formation. You can see we came in at 2.2 instead of the 1.6. That is a little bit concerning, because like what happened behind the scenes that caused that increase. That's 0.6% hotter than expected, which is a pretty big deal. The month over month also came in a little bit hotter than expected. So the headline was 0.5% inflation. What I like to do is take this 0.5 and multiply it out for the year and get 6. Okay, so that means that month over month right now we're sitting in a 6% inflationary environment, meaning this time next year things are going to be a little bit hotter, right? If we continue that trend, which you can see for the last 3 readings, we have been continuing that trend. So inflation is picking back up. This is 3 readings which annualize at something that is higher than the current headline number. Okay, that means that inflation's starting to pick back up again for the producers, and we know that it's just going to segue over to us as the consumers. Let's go, HRH. Thank you for that. Appreciate the tiny diny. I don't know who requested to come up TikTok, but not right now. I'm live on YouTube. We're going to do some morning trading. We're talking about producer price right now. You can, I'll go live later in the day if you want to hop up with me then. So it's hotter. It was supposed to come in at 0.3. It came in at 0.5. That's not great. This shows the market's a little bit stronger. The economy's a little bit stronger than expected, which means that the Fed's going to have to keep rates higher. I was a little bit shocked. This is the Fed. These are Fed futures. In 3 weeks, we get another interest rate decision, whether or not they're going to keep it at the same rate or raise it higher. I was expecting this to change that a little bit and indicate that we were going to get another rate hike, but the market's not budging at all. So this did not change anyone's conviction. It looks like we're going to continue to stay at these rates and not increase any further. Now, tomorrow is the CPI reading, which is more important for influencing the market's perception on what's going to happen. So you definitely got to pay attention to that. That could have a big impact. And then on Friday, we kick off Q3 earnings, and that's going to be with the major banks. So if the banks come in hot, if they have really good economic data, then I would expect this percentage to decrease and for the market to begin to expect an interest rate hike. If we stay at this 85% thinking we won't have an interest rate hike, then we won't have an interest rate hike. All right, just point blank, the Federal Reserve cannot deviate from market expectations that much. That's why they try and make it crystal clear to us when they speak, when Jerome Powell speaks and everything. They want to present exactly what they're going to do so the market's not surprised, because they don't want to surprise anyone. Well, I got banned 10 times. It's a joke I had with my old boss. She said she poops at the same time every day. I need to go when the clock hits a certain time. Honestly, this morning it's been pretty the last week or two it's been pretty consistent. So that the producer price coming in a little bit hotter. Really, if you look at the yields here, and then we'll get into some trading. I'm in a couple positions, which I'll explain to you guys here. But if you look at the yields on the bonds, this is telling me that the yield curve is inverting even more. So we were rapidly uninverting, which usually is a sign that the recession is here. But now we are inverting again. So that means that the short end, the 1 month, the 2 month, the 3 month bonds, those shorter duration bonds are now yielding more than the long duration bonds, right? So it's inverting even more, meaning that this 2-year bond got a higher yield while the 10-year bond got a lower yield. So kind of getting messed up again. This data is confusing the market. No one was expecting this, yet everyone was expecting this, right? So Bitcoin sold off a little bit today. We had a little bit of a sell-off. If you were here on yesterday's live stream, which I encourage everyone over here, come on over to the YouTube live stream. Especially, it looks like my account's I got my first ever warning on TikTok, my first ever account warning on a video that literally did not justify it in the slightest. I did not do anything wrong in that video, but they hit me with an account strike. So it looks like TikTok is going to start trying to take away some sort of feature from me. So come over to the YouTube. It's the same exact username. And on yesterday's live stream, we were staring at this Bitcoin Live book map, which is something that Josh pointed out to everyone. I didn't even know this thing existed, but this is essentially showing the liquidation heat map. So it's kind of complicated to look at right now. If you only pay attention to the left side of the screen here, all you need to pay attention to is over here, okay? Don't look at any of these bubbles. If you're like me, your brain's not able to look at these this early in the morning. You look over here, and when there is a bright yellow section, that means there's a lot of open orders, a lot of high leverage in the market. While the market is super low in volume, market makers, aka your Binance, your Coinbase, there's a lot of market makers. Your market makers are going to drive price to hit those areas and liquidate traders, liquidate people who have a lot of leverage, because it's basically someone left $100 on the table. When you have a limit order and the market can see that limit order, it's like you're leaving $100 on the table and they're going to go take it, right? So that's something we can reliably account for. What's good, Matthew? Good morning. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, Dream. Thank you for that heart. So yesterday we were calling out that this was at 27,200. So Bitcoin was more likely than not going to head straight to 27,200. It's exactly what happened, because again, it's the only reliable thing we have in the market right now is that market makers are going to take money from us if they can. So that's exactly what happened. Bitcoin came straight down. We're deviating right there a little bit. And then when the PPI report came out today, We broke below the VWAP, so kind of had a little bit of a change in direction. We recovered quickly, but we're getting rejected. So that did in fact show a change in direction in the market. And I'm trading that. So I'm currently short XRP. I'm looking for that 1% gain. So I entered the short up here. I'm looking to take profits once we hit that 1% threshold. That's how I like to trade, okay? Keep it nice and simple. I'm not looking for anything crazy. I'm looking for 1% moves, and I just use leverage to change up the yield I get as a trader, right? So my strategy doesn't change. The only thing that changes is how much leverage I use. I'm also currently short Aave and Solana. Those are for swing trades though. We'll do a little bit of an update because I've been in them for a couple days now. So Aave, we've been reliably tracking in this wedge for a little bit of time here. Hits the top, comes down to the bottom. Hits the bottom, goes up to the top. Hits the top, comes down to the bottom. So that's what we're playing right now. I'm short right around here. And I'm looking just to go down to that $53 range. So it's like 15-16%. And then on Solana, it's the same exact thing. We're in a little bit of a range. We're kind of finding support here, so I wouldn't be too shocked if we did in fact find support and go back up. Yeah, I'm expecting Solana to kind of have a little bit of a pump here, especially as the RSI comes up. I just don't think this pump's going to go as high as everything else, you know? I got my iced coffee. We're feeling good. I still hold Kaspa. Let's do some analysis on Kaspa, yeah. Let's check out Kaspa. You can see I was using Bing X there. That's the exchange that I'm using. Link in the bio of this YouTube video if you guys want to go use Bing X. They're giving away a ton of free money, free vouchers, so you can trade on their dime. If you mess it all up and lose all that money, you don't gotta worry about it because it wasn't yours to begin with. I've been enjoying them. And yeah, I have a referral link, otherwise I wouldn't be mentioning them. What were we doing at Kaspa? So Kaspa's having a little bit of a pullback. We're not seeing the explosive momentum, the explosive movements that I've kind of been hoping for when we look at Kaspa. When you say swing trade, what time frame are you generally thinking? I always forget that I can pin this message. A swing trade, I'm usually looking on the daily chart. I'm looking to hold something for a week or two, maybe like up to 3 weeks. Does Bing X have KYC? No, it does not, which is part of the reason why I accepted it, right? Someone from Bing X reached out to me and was like, hey, look at us. They don't require KYC, so hop in before they change it. It's definitely... Kaspa's starting to lose a little bit of momentum with this, okay? So it's been running. It's been one of the most aggressively bullish cryptos for this entire bear market. And if you look, each time we break to a new high, it kind of gets rejected. The RSI is starting to lose a little bit of steam. Initially, when we came up to that 4.2 cents, the RSI was super overextended. Then you fast forward a few months, and we came up to that 5.2 cents, and the RSI was not as high. Now again, we just broke another high at 5.3, 5.4 cents, and the RSI was not as high once again. So it looks like we're starting to lose momentum, which makes sense because this is now a $1 billion cryptocurrency. That's a very large cryptocurrency. I'm still holding on to my position. This is not something I will hold through the entirety of the bull market. I have my take profit levels. If we were to hit something like 50 cents, I'm going to be completely out of it. I will no longer be holding Kaspa if we do hit that 50 cents threshold. Especially if it happens anytime soon. 329, let's go, 329 subscribers. Yeah, I had a short video do really well. A short, YouTube short do very well. And so it just popped off a few subscribers, so let's go. We're on that road to 1,000 so we can start relying on the monetization from YouTube and not from random companies or from TikTok. So like I said, I'm in XRP as a short. I'll explain the trading strategy real quick since some of you guys are new here. Hopefully you've all liked up the live stream. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it so far. And we gave some good alpha about the PPI earlier, and we can go a little bit more in depth if you want to. Like, I have to revisit something because deposit services, I was reviewing it in depth, the report before I went live, so I didn't sound like a buffoon as I was talking about it. And deposit services jumped 13%, which is a pretty large jump. I have to review what deposit services are, like what that actually entails, what part of the economy is inflating like that. It's always my first day when it comes to trading. Yeah. Well, all good, all good. So when I'm looking for a trade and why I entered into a short here on XRP, again, if you guys want to see it, feel free to come over to the YouTube and you can see the screen. How far down on this pullback? I think Bitcoin's probably heading down somewhere around 22,000, 20,000, but who knows? I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong because I want to load up a little bit. My portfolio is about 26% cash right now, so I'd like to have a big pullback. We'll see. When I'm looking for a trade, I'm looking for any asset. Doesn't have to just be crypto. This works for commodities. This works. I haven't tried it on Forex. This works on futures. This works on stocks. This works on indexes. I haven't tried it on bonds either. So bonds and Forex, I've not tried this strategy on. But we look for an asset that is staying on one side of this VWAP. So the VWAP is the volume weighted average price. It is a moving average that takes into account the volume as well, not just the price, okay? Because not every candle is valuable. Not every piece of data needs to be included as heavily as other pieces of data. When there's more volume at a certain price, there's more impact that that price has. So it takes that into account. When we stay below, like XRP has all day today, I am looking to enter as we come up and touch the VWAP. Because usually we will see a large correction to the downside. And then we come back up, we come close to the VWAP. We didn't come quite as close this time, so I probably would not have entered on that. But then we continued the downtrend, right? And then we come back up to the VWAP, and this time I did enter. I entered right around here, I believe. And I'm looking for a move back down to the lows. In that move, I will take my profits. Generally speaking, I'm looking for a 1% gain, and I would like to risk no more than 0.5% in an ideal scenario. It doesn't always work out like that, but that ratio should stay the same. So I'll set my stop loss up here above the VWAP for a break of pattern. If we break back above that VWAP on the day, generally that tells me that markets are changing direction and I need to get out of the trade. So 0.5% up, I'd be stopped out. 1% down, I will make my profits. I usually go long 10% or 10x, so it's a 10% move on that 1% move. And it's not super high risk because it's small moves on the underlying, just high leverage, right? But you have that stop loss and the take profits, so it's not as risky. Why didn't I take a trade on something like Ethereum or something like Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin has more volume, so it would make more sense to trade that, you know? If it's got more volume, it's easier to get in and out of positions. One, I don't have a lot of money to trade with, so it's not like I'm going to influence the market too much. And two, if we look at Bitcoin here, we did not respect the VWAP at all, right? When we came up and approached that VWAP, we broke straight through it. We then got rejected by something else and came back down, but then here we broke straight through it again. So the direction is not clear to me. My simplistic brain, right? I got a Neanderthal brain. I don't know what's going on. So I like to keep things as simple as possible. So when we broke below, we got rejected by the VWAP. We came up and tested it, but sliced right through it. And then I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, maybe we're bullish now. We got support here, popped off, came down and sliced through it again. Now maybe we're bearish. I don't know. That's too confusing for me. I'm not going to take that trade. I'm going to find something like XRP, which is staying on one side. And I have more confidence, and it's important that you have confidence in your trades. Even if you miss golden trade setups, even if you miss beautiful returns, it's more important that you have confidence in what you're doing so that you can continue to replicate as far as the eye can see. Hopefully that made sense for you guys. I think explaining your style often also helps people like me gradually learn and understand. Absolutely. 100% agree with that. Plus, it helps just solidify it in my brain. Like, it's just good all around to revisit things. Yesterday, I'd like to share a trade with you guys. yesterday we were watching XRP for a short as well, right? On the live stream, it was like back here. So we were saying this looks like a decent pattern. I would like to get in at the VWAP and then hopefully get rejected back down. Later in the day, I did in fact enter this trade. So I entered the trade, I believe right here, okay? Hoping that we'd see that 1% gain. What ended up happening, as you can see, is that we actually had a pop up, and I set the stop loss right at the high here, right above that high. And we literally, the market makers, a bunch of people must have done it. A bunch of people must have gotten in there as well, because that is a forced movement straight up to the stop loss. We got wicked out, and then the trade played out exactly how we would have liked it to. Had they not forced a liquidation there, we would have made a profitable trade, but we got, I'll keep that thought to myself. We got taken advantage of. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. We are popping off a little bit here now. Found a little bit of support, but we're chilling. We're chilling. You guys got some questions. Thanks for chilling with me over here on the TikTok Live. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the 10 of you for hanging out with me. You guys got any questions? That is a beautiful question. Thank you for asking that. I think there's a couple things that I could learn from the trade not going smoothly yesterday. The first one is that I should limit myself to trading the time frame that I have allocated to trading. So not taking trades when they're not in my normal trading window. Just keep working on something else. I don't need to trade constantly. So that's probably one thing, is just stay normal with it. Yeah, another thing is, like, this was not the perfect trading setup, where the VWAP was not being super respected here. We kept slicing straight through it, but then getting rejected and coming back down. So there was obviously something else at play here that I did not have on the chart that was influencing the price. So maybe not taking trades when the pattern's not there, you know? It looked like a nice window, but perhaps not. The other thing, I don't think there was much I could have done about this. Maybe raising my stop loss up even higher, but that's not something I really want to be doing. I thought I did a good job at putting it there. So I'm not totally sure. Why do you have a trading window? Why do I have so many questions? Truth, ask them away. This is good. This gives me something to talk about, so we don't just sit here in silence. I am going to, though, duplicate this because we got to get our blowhorn ready for market open. I have a trading window so that I don't waste my time all day trading. You know? I have other stuff I got to do that's more important to me than trying to grab liquidity out of the market. And so I give myself an allotted trading window. That way, I can go do my other stuff and not sit in front of the screen. People get sucked into sitting in front of the screen and then don't do anything all day. They don't work on a business. They don't work on growing themselves. They don't work on acquiring new skills or growing a network. They just sit and stare at the screen all day, hoping that they can catch the next major movement on XRP's price. It's a wasted time. Wasted time. Yeah. Often like earlier morning, the structure's a little bit more clear. So perhaps it is more, like, it does have some influence, the market structure, right? Not every day do we remain constant, like up here. Right here is a perfect example. So we came up to the VWAP, we came down, finished the trade, and came back up, and then sliced through. So we had a change in direction. So this is a good, if we just stuck to that one trading window. Over here, we just stuck to the one trading window, right? So the longer you look at something, the more likely it is that it's going to change direction, you know? Everything just looks like it's bearish, though, lately. Nothing looks like it's holding up super fantastic. I can't believe I got a warning on my account. I feel like what I said was justifiable. That dude comes by in the morning so frequently and just sits outside the window and blows his leaf blower at the door. I feel like I was justified in saying what I said. I've noticed in my short time trading that certain times of the day or night have different movements on different trades. Yeah, that's very logical because there's different parts of the world trading at different times, and different people out around the world are going to use different strategies, right? The US markets trade a little bit differently than the Asia Pacific market. Asia Pacific trades a little bit different than the European, right? So each person has their own trading strategy, and a lot of trading when you're on a short time frame, not investing, I'm talking 100% to trading here, depends on who and how many people are watching the setups. If everyone is doing the same trading setup that I'm doing, then it's more likely to play out correctly until the market maker sees that and then manipulates it in a certain way. If everyone uses Fibonacci bands, then it's likely that we're going to get bounces at the Fibonacci bands, right? Getting a warning just means your bigger legit account, wear it with pride. Let's go. It's funny because I've had live streams with hundreds of people in them before on TikTok and no account warnings. And then the one where I'm chilling with you guys here, it's like, account warning. And I've said some pretty vulgar things before, but so be it. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. XYO. We can go look at XYO. I'm not a fan of that. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't invest in it. Just based off the chart, obviously. If you want to do some fundamentals and decide differently, then feel free. On the daily, it does not look that fantastic. On the minutely, there's no volume, so trading it on a day trading schedule doesn't make any sense. And it's not sticking to my pattern, so I can't reliably get in and out of it. We'll see. We're hoping. The market opened. Market open. All right, that was it. So now we might see some movements, right? We might see some stuff going on. Now that big money's entered the game, Wall Street has opened. I see REC was up 50% last night. God damn. Let's check it out. And my cat's just freaked out. God damn, look at that. Yeah, REQ is pumping today. Or this morning, I guess I could say. It looks like the move is mostly over at this point, but REQ went nuts. What kind of news happened? I wonder why my cats are out there destroying stuff. Oh. They probably got some kind of partnership then? I don't know. Does anyone know what happened with REQ? Let's see what's hot for in the news cycle. Cardano regains top spot in development activity. This market pundit has 20 reasons to be extremely bullish on Ripple. Is price correction imminent for Ethereum? These are, I hate how these are the top articles. This is like, the Cardano one makes sense. These two are very, very little-minded. These are like, your typical retail investor is going to click on that, and that's why you get wrecked so much. Is a price correction imminent for Ethereum? Shut the heck up. Jim Cramer thinks Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big. All right, now this is bullish. Is Ripple due for a God candle? You're telling me this is the 5th most important article in the entire crypto market? Yeah, so there's not much going on today. We're just going to look to grab our XRP liquidity. We're just looking to... We're coming down to here. That's where my profit target is, so... Can we use the VWAP and the 255 EMA to figure out when to short those small cryptos that pumped like wreck? Yeah, I mean, I don't usually pay too much attention to... I have my one trading strategy, and that's what I stick to. So absolutely, there's going to be really solid ways to short these things, okay? Absolutely. We go look at REC. It pumped aggressively yesterday, and it's holding up decently today, right? It's holding up decently. It's getting rejected from that VWAP, so maybe it's going to break structure. I like looking at just the candle structure more than anything. So we're seeing that movement. This 4-hour candle's closing below this, so if it closes below, we're definitely back into a free-for-all, a free fall. The 1 hour is starting to come back down to the lows, so if we get past 9 cents, I think we're probably in a free fall back down to the local spots. If we go look at signals, we can check out if there's any open interest anywhere on it. But this might not be the best because I don't know how much volume is here. Yeah, they don't even have it. Yeah, they don't even have it. I'd have to take my VWAP off in order to do it, and I don't really want to. But absolutely, there's going to be solid trading strategies to figure out when to short this stuff, because there's no reason for it to stay pumped up like that. You know, it's just been on a death spiral its entire existence, so there's no reason it's going to continue to just make that movement. So this is probably something worth looking into for shorting. 100%. Let's go. 6 people watching. Shout out all you guys. Shout out all you guys. I'm going to like the live stream to boost up some of those numbers. Let's go. I got to get a better camera though. That's, I think, the most important. I don't know. I don't think there's too much more. So we're probably going to wrap this up. If you guys have any final questions, feel free to ask me stuff. Ask me anything we got going on right now, what thoughts you have, what concerns you've got. If you're interested in learning anything, did you guys see BitBoy is starting to train for a fight with someone? That's going to be hysterical. I hope someone gets in there and knocks him out. It's going to be so funny. This whole thing is going to be chaotic. Chaotic. The crypto influencers starting to box. Who should I fight? Who should I get in there? Nobody wants this smoke, huh? Huh, son? Nobody wants this. I did Squat-tober every day, boy. Oh, my ears shouts out. Oops. What camera you got? I'm literally using a webcam, like a J5 something webcam. I gotta get an actual camera here. But it's a slow process. We're getting there slowly. It's gonna be funny. I'm gonna laugh so hard to see the fights that go on. But your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this live stream was worth investing it into. We're short XRP. I will put the results of this trade into the Discord. Thank you, TikTok, for being here with me. Again, come over to the live stream on YouTube because it looks like TikTok might end up banning me from going live for a week or two. I'll see you tomorrow, though. Or I'll probably see you a little bit later today, TikTok. I hear a small YouTuber say we need to grow up and not fight each other. Well, fighting is 100% in our DNA. Like, as humans, if you see a fight on the street, you're gonna watch it. We love to fight. And fighting under controlled circumstances, I think, is totally fine. It's totally reasonable and a good way for guys specifically to get any angst out. You know? Oh, TikTok has highlights. TikTok now has highlighted sections from my live that I could turn into shorts. That's kind of cool. They're already ready. Damn. Yeah, I think it's to some capacity good. I think the beef and the quarrels over calling people out on false price predictions is like simple-minded. You're gonna make mistakes all the time. And somebody calling you out on a mistake is irrelevant. If anyone involved in a situation like that gets their feelings hurt, I think that they have some internal reflecting to do. If anyone, because that's the only thing that's going to trigger people in this space, being wrong and someone calling you out for it. And if that upsets you, you got some self-reflecting to do. That's all I'll say. It upsets me sometimes. It upsets me sometimes. And I try and take my time to really consider what's going on. Why am I getting so triggered by that? Why did somebody else's opinion of something that I said make me feel a certain type of way? I'm in control of my emotions, so it's on me. I got to figure that out. And yeah, it's just it's a childish thing. But with that said, fighting is an entertaining thing, especially when you can wager on it. Your time's your most valuable asset, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I just don't know how they will get people in the same weight range. Yeah, I think they'll be pretty lenient with that, to be honest. When people want to fight, I don't think it'll matter if they're in different weight classes. There's nobody in crypto with the physique that investor has, though, so nobody could take this guy on, guaranteed. I'll see you guys later.